I found out about my GF's affair with her boss and I'm struggling to cope. We were a couple of 4 years in our early 30s, living together with no children. There were some issues with time and intimacy. I wanted for her to go to therapy because she was struggling with her emotions and speaking about them, but she was too scared. Last time we kissed was in July and she just wasn't there. From that moment her attitude changed, she became distant and impatient. 2 weeks later we had a night out with friends after work and she brought her boss along. This is the first time I met the guy and he told me that I seem friendly but we're playing on 2 teams because he fancies my GF. When I spoke to my GF about this she acted surprised and assured me nothing was going on. She became even more distant and hostile. I tried to get through to her, but she would get angry and gaslight me claiming I'm imagining things. I've decided to make more effort, take her out more often but her mind was always somewhere else. Then on our holiday trip she told me that she didn't feel anything last time we kissed, that there is no desire for me but it doesn't mean she wants to break up. We decided to continue the conversation after the trip. When we got back I've noticed she became glued to her phone, more activities not involving me. I was still in denial. One Friday she texted me she's going for a beer with her boss. When confronted she only said, "You want me to ask for permission?" It was just a beer. She broke up with me 2 days later. I said that I felt like we could work through our issues with couples therapy and if she went to therapy herself. She started having doubts about the breakup and said she'll look for a therapist. When I asked if she met someone she admitted to texting with her boss a lot. He was hitting on her and it boosted her ego. He also invited her to join him on his holiday in Croatia in October. She wasn't planning to go. I was angry but believed her. When emotions settled next day I felt like that story just didn't add up so I checked her messenger and it turned out to be a full-blown affair. She detailed everything to her 2 closest friends. It lasted a month, they kissed each other few times and went on numerous dates. They agreed he will follow her lead and she will set the boundaries. She considered it might be just a temporary crush, but wanted to see where it leads. Dates and kisses were initiated by her. She said to her friends that it would be a shame if they didn't have time. She was seriously considering going with him for that trip. They were making out in his car outside our flat and at work. She bragged to her friends that she finally got a romance at work type of story and how exciting it is. My view of her shattered. In these conversations she acted like a teenager having her first crush in her life. They had a date planned on the day my aunt died and she complained to her friend she had to cancel because of that. I even helped her buy him a gift on our trip which was supposed to be for her friend. It ducking hurt like hell. And man, her friends disgusted me. They cheered her on, telling things like, "I envy you the butterflies in your stomach, take what you can from this and don't tell your boyfriend." One of them even offered to cover for her so she can go to Croatia with him. They never mentioned that it's wrong and she can lose her job. I also saw Liv how she wrote to her friends that break up with me is probably a big mistake and that we will most likely get together soon but she needs therapy to figure things out. She also set up a meet with her boss 4 days after our breakup. I was never cheated on and I thought that physical stuff would hurt the most, but duck me, was I wrong? It was the lies and manipulations and how ducking easy it was for her. The cruelty of stuff she did and said. I wanted to believe she is lost. The decision to go to therapy seemed genuine, but so many of the stuff I read seemed calculated. In the evening of the D-Day she was in tears and asked if we could talk because she felt like this breakup is a huge mistake. I said we could talk in 2 days. I needed time to gather my thoughts and see my therapist first. I also wanted to get all things out of her apartment before that. Part of me still loved her and hoped she will want to change and fight for us. But deep down I knew there is no going back from some of this acid. It will stay in my head forever. I didn't think she was all evil, but now I discovered a part of her that was disgusting. I wanted to know why and I hope that when the whole thing is uncovered she will offer me the truth since it would be most likely the last time we will ever speak. When we finally met she said how she wasn't sure about her feelings and what she wants. That she needs time to figure it out with therapist. I straight up told her I read all her texts. I asked why she didn't tell me when I gave her so many chances and she said not to hurt you and because I was ashamed. It was a rationalization of course which made me angry. She was supposed to confess after we would get back together. I of course said it's BLLS it, because she knew I wouldn't want to fix stuff after that. Questions about details made her defensive at times. She tried to lessen the whole thing. She explained that she felt wanted and finally something was happening, but it wasn't worth it in the end. She claimed she didn't really mean some of the stuff she wrote. She didn't want to have time with him or go for that trip. She wasn't even sure if she likes him. I asked why would I believe her and not my eyes, and she said that she didn't know why she wrote that stuff and feels ashamed. Also said it was her biggest mistake in life, feels like trash for hurting me, regrets not going to therapy sooner, and that I deserve someone better. I agreed. She apologized. I asked how she could be so dumb to risk her job, and she said that it's not my problem anymore. She told me that she set up a meeting with him on Friday to ask him for a break to figure out what she wants. Yeah, right. I saw misery on her face. I said that I feel extremely disappointed and I don't know who she is anymore. She replied that she doesn't know either, but is determined to find out on her therapy. When I asked about us, she said it's most likely unfixable. I finished by saying that I don't know if I will ever forgive her and hope she finds the answers that she seeks on her therapy. Then I left. It was the hardest conversation in my life. In the end, I didn't receive the answers I wanted, and what I did receive was disappointing and insincere. It hurt me that she wasn't honest even when I confronted her. I'm angry at myself that I hoped she would want to fix it, and I still catch myself on having these thoughts even after a week. This is naive and I know that. I want to be loved by someone who hurt me so much. It's so dumb. I hope these thoughts will go away sooner rather than later. I know I should focus on myself and improve my life, but it's so difficult to move on. I'm angry and jealous that the affair is most likely still going and she enjoys her time with someone else when the corpse of our relationship is still fresh and I'm suffering. Dealing with losing your home, your partner, and the feeling of betrayal is overwhelming at times. Edit. Wow. Thanks for all the responses, honest opinions and support. I really appreciate it. A ton of you suggested I should report the affair to HR at her company and also blow it up to all her friends and family. I understand the reasoning and I've already spoken to my therapist about it. She told me that I should consider whether such an action would actually help me or just add to my misery. I've decided I won't do that because it will only create more drama, stress, and make me focus on her even more, and that's really the last thing I need now. I want to heal and it's the best thing I can do. ATM. I feel better when I don't think about her. I only plan on informing our mutual friends when they ask why we're not together anymore. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1. Looks like she monkey branched into another relationship with her boss. It's just a BS she just gave you, like working on her feelings. Tell the boss's partner if he has one. Redditor 2. You are going to be okay. You did the right thing. These thoughts will fade, and the more time passes the easier it will be to see for yourself who she is beyond the pain you feel right now. In 6 months you'll wonder how it was ever possible to miss someone so cruel. The best way to get there is to focus on yourself. Fake it till you make it. Go on a walk, cook for yourself, find a new show. I recommend mindless crime dramas. Join an activity in your community like an art class or a low-stakes sports league. Keep yourself busy. Don't talk to her. Everything you do now will help future you, so give him your best effort.